It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
At Watkins, Glen. So, Denny, you got 5 races left before the chase cutoff. It's getting a little bunched up there at the few spots. And what's your thoughts about running here at the Glen?
I definitely love road course racing for sure. But you know, we really couldn't ask for, you know, better tracks that are coming up for us. Of course, we thought we had a good finish going at Pocono, and we had to pit twice. You know, a lot of guys made it on one stop, so you know, just you know, we felt like we let a good finish get away there. We were almost 100 to the good going into that race, and ended, you know, about 40 something to the good. So we just gotta get back on track. It seems like for the last 3 months we've had one good finish, 120 something place finish due to something going on. So we gotta get at least 2 weeks in a row of good performances, good finishes to kind of solidify our place.
I will take questions now. We'll start right up to the front. State your name, who you're with, please.
Monty Dutton, Gaston Gazette. Denny, when you're reading releases, one driver after another says Sonoma is more technical, Watkins Glen. Now, it just occurred to me that I was just kind of like looking for an explanation. I'm assuming you mean that at Sonoma it's more braking points, shift points, places where you look, it's much more precise thing, where Watkins Glen is more of a seat of the pants type thing. But I just wanted I wanted to ask you to sort of put it in terms that a person who's not a race driver can understand.
Well, basically, the corners are a lot tighter at Sonoma. So with the lower speed corners like that, you have to be more precise on where you hit your marks. This racetrack is more similar to a short track that we're shifting at, because the speeds you really don't shift. I think at this racetrack maybe 4 times, 5 times. Sonoma quite a bit more than that. So anytime you have more shift points, it's more technical. The corners are tighter, it's more technical. But this racetrack is just more laid out like a short track than Sonoma is. So you know, this racetrack also is a lot more forgiving, I think, you know, as far as running off the course. There's different places. It gives you a little more leeway there, so you know, you don't really take any more chances here than what you took there. But if you do make a mistake, you're more likely able to make it up.
Next question right here.
Denny, Chris Johnson from NASCAR Scene. Last time we were here, Jeff Gordon had a victory slip away late in the race. And I was wondering, last week at Pocono, he still said he had nightmares about it. I'm wondering if you have one that stands out in your career that you still think about, kind of one that got away, and how the memory of it affects you as you go along. I know Richmond this year was a huge disappointment, but that wasn't really your fault.
Well, I mean, that would be the #1 race that we let slip away, and that kind of meant the most to me. But you know, it's tough to say any certain race that we, you know, was self-inflicted that we, you know, let get away. You know, we just, the circumstances has really bitten us. You know, here lately, I'd say Chicago. We had a very, very fast car there, and then 10 laps into the race, or my dash shorts out and it cuts the car off. So that was very frustrating. But you know, everyone on the whole FedEx team's working hard. I mean, we're each and every week we're like, all right, we're just going to take the conservative approach, go out there and get a top 10, because that's what we need to do to make the chase. And it doesn't, you know, it's not like we're really getting caught up in wrecks. We're just getting caught up in dumb stuff that happens once every never. I mean, just so it's very frustrating, because I know performance-wise we deserve to be in the chase. You know, so there's some guys, you know, hanging on to chase spots that, I mean, they run 15th to 20th every week, but that's where they finish. You know, we're inconsistent right now. We run top 3 or 4, or we finish in the 40s. So we just if we get back to there, I'm confident that once the chase starts, we'll be fine. Once we get reset, we're fine. But we've just got to get there first.
Who else has a question? Anyone else?
If you could just talk about the weather conditions and with the car tomorrow and everything. You got a race under your belt with it last year, but how important is to have a real good setup for this track?
Well, it's definitely good for us right now that we have raced here in the past, especially with this rain, because it looks like there's a lot more coming. But really, these cars took to this track, it seemed like, really, really good. It's a lot better than what I expected last year when we came here for the first time. They drove very similar to the old car. And I think they drive more similar to the old car on the road courses than they do in any other racetrack that we go to, big or small. So, when we come here, we definitely feel like we know what we have.
Right here.
It's me again. Obviously, when it comes down to this, there's sort of an 8 to make 6 spot in the chase, because after the top 5 and then to 14th, it's very tight. And then there are a couple more who have to be considered long shots. But that sort of makes this race quite, to this period, what sort of Talladega is to the chase, in that you can lose and hurts more than winning gains. Would you agree?
Absolutely, without a doubt. You've got to minimize your bad day for sure. I mean, I definitely believe that if you can salvage a top 20, out of a bad day, then you better take it, because winning just doesn't pay as much. When I say winning, I consider a top 3, top 4 win. When you're points racing, it doesn't pay as much as it does when you get a 40th place finish and you only get 30 points. So, yeah, you've got to minimize your bad days. Right now, I feel like us, realistically, if there's 5 races left, we could have no more than 2 bad races. And when I say bad races, 25th or worse. If we finish 25th or worse and more than in 2 races or more, we're going to have some help. It's going to be like the playoffs in the NFL. We're going to have to count on someone else having bad days too, because I know on our good days we can run in the top 5 where we belong.
Question right here.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Denny, I understand that you recently bought a new motorhome and decided to donate your other one to MRO. I wondered if you could just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you look for different ways to try to give back, and a lot of people do it in different ways. But MRO's been a huge supporter for us. They go beyond, it seems like, for us to, the race teams and the drivers, and it's just we all, everyone kind of donates to them in some kind of way. But for me to give a motorhome to them that they desperately needed, obviously they can save on hotels, they can stay at the racetrack and be more useful for us. It's going to be great for us. To be able to donate that motorhome free of charge to them was just a sign of appreciation for myself and FedEx. We try to do everything we can to give back to them, and it's just just showing our appreciation for them, because they're kind of the unsung heroes, I feel like, of our sport.
Question here.
Bob Benz from the Corning Leader. Denny, could you ever see a day when the Cup Series runs in the rain, just as the Nationwide Series did last week, and just what are your thoughts on doing such a thing?
I mean, I wouldn't like to see it be done, because just watching the race last week, I think everyone did a good job, but I mean, there was really no passing unless someone ran off the racetrack or whatnot. I think the true NASCAR fans want to see side-by-side racing. They want to see guys make passes on each other, and you're just not going to have that in the rain. I think for the show standpoint, it's better to have it in dry conditions, even if you have to wait a day.
Any other questions for Denny? Okay, we appreciate you coming in, and good luck this weekend.